Team Liquid are waiting for their opponent in the grand finals, and it's going to be one of these two teams, Virtus.pro or PSG.LGD. One of these two teams, and it feels like this match on itself, PSG.LGD versus Virtus.pro, that's a grand finals on itself, and then the winner of that will go up against Team Liquid in the best of 5 grand finals later today. 2 series between these teams and championships. 3 teams remaining, and also 3 panelists to talk you through the first half of the day. We got Gauze, we got Trent, and we got Bulldog. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Championship Sunday. Does it feel like Championship Sunday?
I'd say so. We've been here for a while. You know, kind of been building up to this, waiting for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of us were really expecting Liquid to finally fire back in the top form, but they certainly did. They've looked great. So, just excited to see who's going to play them in the grand final.
Feels fitting. Your TI champions, Team Liquid, the final boss of the final major, a super major at that, and it's a good way to finish things off.
Yeah, and it's kind of what we expected, right? The top 3 teams, LGD, VP, Liquid, the 3 best teams in the world right now, and they're at the end here.
And there's, I think that's been said many times throughout the competition. This is the top 3. There are nobody's holding back. No, there's no excuses. The bracket was good. The results have been good. There's no reason to save strats for any further majors. Everybody's already qualified. Everybody knows that there's going to be patches. So there's no strategies to keep in the back of your mind. This is all about the best team. And it feels like the teams play like that. And that is something really good. There's been tournaments in the past where it felt like teams, you know, they're just holding back and they might not play the best.
You know, maybe you don't ban IO 2 games in a row. That wouldn't happen here.
That will not happen
at the Super
here.
Major.
Not at the Super Major.
No, couldn't. So.
It has been a very long season. It's been the first season of its kind, the DPC system. Gods? And we know it's going to get changed for next year. How did you experience this first year?
A lot of events, which I loved, and then my body started to hate because of how many events there were, and trying to stay up late at home watching all of them, traveling to a lot, but it's been a crazy amount of good Dota, which is something at first, really. I mean, there's, for just how many sheer number of events there were.
Yeah, it has been a long year for these teams as well. Virtus.pro playing in so many events. I believe this is their 12th event this season. LGD a little bit less events. They've had 10. This is their 10th, rather. But playing in front of the home crowd. And to be fair, I think LGD played it the right way. They just started very slow. Yeah. And
they were bad.
They were bad.
Yeah, so you start bad. That's
slow,
that's the
bad. Kind of same thing.
They had to make some roster changes, but you know, it worked.
I believe we actually are ready to get the teams on stage. Wait a second, we do not. We are not ready yet, but we will soon be ready because the teams have been waiting, obviously, to play this series, and they're going to play up against each other again. This is going to be the second time that they're going to play each other this tournament, and it is time to get them on stage right now.
Just a little slow.
Don't mute.
After an unremarkable start to the pro circuit, this Chinese organization took drastic measures to change their fate and recruited 2 young players. The impact was instant, and since then, they've gone on a warpath, resulting in not 1, but 2 major titles, back to back. Heavy hitters at the Super Major, they are on fire right now. Welcome on stage, PSG.LGD. They were formidable last season, but on the pro circuit, they've become unstoppable. With 3 major titles under their belt and TI8 qualification in the bag, VP are here for one reason, and one reason only: to uphold their reputation as the best team in the world. Welcome on stage, Virtus.pro.
Alrighty then, I think these teams look ready for the lower bracket finals. Virtus.pro and PSG.LGD, one best of 3 between them and Team Liquid. And then still obviously one best of 5 against them to see who is the champion of today and who gets to be the final champion of the DPC system of Season 1. That is a big title to get. I think that's a big confidence boost to get. I mean, sure, there's a lot of money on the line as well. Number 1 takes home $555,000. You know, casual, $500,000 is all fine. But I think for these teams, they play for the title. They play for the championship, Trent.
They play for TI.
They
I
play
mean,
for
come
TI.
on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like any other sports league in the world. When it comes to the idea of the regular season, getting into playoffs, the second playoff starts, regular season so far out the window. It's just like all that matters now is TI. But of course, this year has done a much better job of spreading out the importance of the year and adding that into TI. Previously, it was like nothing else matters. But now, hey, you look at someone like maybe Newbie, who did exceptionally well at the start of the season, haven't looked so hot, but they get to go to TI, whereas last year that would not have been the case.
True.
I think it's fair to
And
say.
Let's just be honest here. All of these teams have won before tournaments, so they don't need to win. They feel confident as it is. At this point, winning $500,000, that's a lot of money.
That's nice.
That is
That's
a lot
nice.
of money.
Yeah.
So I think they're playing a bit for that, honestly.
But you're saying they don't need to win. I kind of feel like winning here would give you such a big boost in terms of confidence going into TI. Like last year, for example, the last tournament that was played, Liquid won, and then they ended up winning TI. And I feel like, you know, winning here would basically set the goal for TI high. It's like, you know, if you can win this, you can win TI.
It makes you confident, but there's a big break here coming up now anyway, and a new patch, and I think all of these teams are already confident. So
Fair enough.
Dota players that were like just naturally ultra competitive. They love to compete. Like Trent, do you like to lose?
No.
Bullock, you like to lose?
no.
Nobody
Cheever, do you like to lose? No.
all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing Dota. What are you talking about?
Everyone's coming here to win. They're all super competitive players. You can't be one of the best teams in the world if you're not ultra competitive.
Yeah.
And everyone's out there prepping for these matches with everything they've got.
Yeah. These teams, by the way, I have met before in the lower bracket finals, and it was DAC, and LGD was
lost?
victorious. Yeah, VP lost.
They don't do a whole lot of that lately. So
They don't, but neither does LGD.
True.
I don't think they've looked as good as Liquid and VP though. VP did lose to LGD this tournament, but it was the Wisp thing, and I would not be too surprised if they let it through again. Because VP, they're cocky. And
Wait, you're thinking they're gonna let IO through
Wait,
again?
are you saying Solo lied to us? He told us he wouldn't. He said no IO.
but he knows that LGD will watch
It's also
that.
not solo drafting, it's Randy's
That's
drafting.
true.
If Randy's wants to pick Wraith King, he'll pick Wraith King. And Solo's just going to sit over there shaking his head.
Surely.
Surely.
They cannot. No, it has been a fun series. The first time these two teams met was obviously in the upper bracket semifinals, and everybody thought like, "Oh, this is going to be super exciting." And then IO makes it through. And to be fair, the first 20 minutes of both the games that they played were Virtus.pro favorite,
And
despite losing later
The
on.
entire series was honestly very exciting. Even up until the end, it was pretty close, and VP definitely gave them a match to remember there. And yeah, the Wisp is a pretty big factor there. A little bit too broken talents and so on, but yeah, they probably will ban it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't as well.
Yeah.
After the game, like FY was interviewed, and he got some credit for his play. And, you know, normally players get praised for their play. Like, no, it was all my team. He said, no, it was all my hero.
Yeah, the
He
hero
praised the
deserves
hero.
the credit. That's like, wow.
That says enough, really. All right, but let's shop here, because Virtus.pro and LGD, there's been a lot of talks about these two teams over the last week and a half and over the last season, I would say. But when it comes down to it, like for people that maybe haven't followed anything else this week, apart from this final day, which by the way is fine, Championship Sunday is, you know, that's what counts. What is the thing, Gods, you think people should know about Virtus.pro?
Virtus.pro have won more majors this season than any team's ever won before. They're been absolutely dominant. They've got 3 Mercedes-Benz in their backyard.
Casual.
These guys are the Dota2 rock stars right now. They are just playing on another level. 10,000 DPC points. No one comes close to them.
Some Fast and Furious stuff, you know, racing around Moscow or something. Very exciting.
Where did they come from? Because the last TI, they came top 6. They did pretty well. What changed for them to be able to shine so bright this season?
They stopped choking on lands.
Yep.
Yeah, also they kicked Lil.
Yeah.
That's something, right? Roger has been playing better, let's be
Sure.
honest here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And he's a positive young lad. Such a nice boy.
You want someone positive, so that's where you get rid of Lil. Get the positivity. We saw GH yesterday with the interview, and positivity. That's the way to go.
That's nice.
All that
isn't it?
matters.
They must be so much happier.
Yeah.
Being happy is nice.
What about, I guess, LGD, they'll come kind of the opposite story, right? In terms of not so much a dominant year, but one where they just kind of flew in at the last second. They're swooping by, scooping themselves up a little bit of Zhao 8-style TI invite right at the last minute. And that was kind of the plan. So very much I would say kind of a support-led team. I feel like, not that, you know, their cores are terrible or something, but I just feel like FY especially has carried many a game for them.
And if you're looking at LGD obviously the first half of the season, they were kind of not in the picture at all. They came in swinging. We have got, this is again Artstyle versus QQQ, by the way, the two coaches that also faced each other playing in the TI1 Grand Finals, which I think is, you know, it's a very long time ago, and it's probably partially coincidence, but it's still, I think it's very cool to see that. But LGD, Bulldog, do you feel like they have met their final form and they're still on their way up? What is your thought on PSG.LGD?
They're looking obviously good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a strong Chinese team, especially for the crowd here. So they have someone to cheer for. And sure, they're looking good, but I just think VP is, even though they lost the series against them, they still look better. And I'm not that confident in LGD. I don't know about the other people here.
I kind of feel similarly. I feel like they got a little bit figured out in terms of, like, I thought one of the worst games from this tournament was when they just banned 3 FY heroes in the first 3, and then he was forced to play Coddle. And I was just like, who is this team? That is not what I expected at LGD. Wasn't looking that good. And then, of course, yes, they beat VP, but how'd they beat them? They got 2 IOs. So I'm throwing that series out the window, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I would have a bit more faith in LGD, because I would also look at yesterday's series against Liquid and not entirely throw out the window, but they had some awful drafting. First pick Bloodseeker, they had a Gyrocopter game. Like, their drafting was very poor that series, and I think that was a big part of why they lost. The players seemed a bit upset with their coach, QQQ, afterwards. They were flaming him in interviews, a bit jokingly. I don't know how jokingly it was, though. He's still in the booth with him, so he's still on the team, but it definitely seemed like they weren't happy with their drafts yesterday.
You can kick your coach freely without losing your DPC, right?
Yes.
just to check?
Absolutely.
All right. You can't change your roster. By the way, I do think that this looks like the Tony Stark heart, but then with the Dota logo on it. And I know that we've seen the trophy a couple of times, you know, in passing, but we haven't actually mentioned it yet.
It's true.
But it does, right? It looks like the heart in the middle of his chest.
It looks like half like Eon Disc, half Vanguard or something. Like threw
Or
the
that.
2
Yeah.
together, and that's what we got.
Normally their trophies are Dota items. I've been trying to figure out what it is.
But this is the Supermajor. We have a superhero theme, Marvel theme, Tony Stark.
Dota heroes aren't cool
Marvel.
enough for you, Sheep?
Yeah,
Apparently,
seriously.
not for this, for this
That's
tournament.
true.
Maybe it's like a Clockwork Heart. Maybe it's in there, you know. He's
yeah.
kind of Iron Man-esque.
Yes.
You can go with that.
I will go with that. I'll take it.
Who would win the fight, Clockwork or Iron Man?
Probably Iron Man. He has like a
Depends.
lot of
Does-
like very explosive things. Clockwork has like a little like firework.
Does
It's like,
Clockwork
"Bing!"
have a blade mail?
That's a great question.
I mean, that's all that matters here, really. All right, Ame, carry player of LGD, has had some solid performance. I feel like we talk a lot about everybody else on LGD, but I feel like Ame is very stable.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
troll
agree with
game.
the stable. His item build sometimes can be a bit volatile. His performance, his laning is quite stable, but we've seen like 4th item Battle Fury, 3rd item Battle Fury yesterday on the troll. He does some questionable stuff sometimes, and definitely feel like his team often is sitting there like scratching their heads like, what are you doing this game, Ame? Like, come on, man. We're ahead. Just do something normal.
Yeah, but a draft yesterday as well was pretty rough for them. So it's hard to play a carry when you have a bad draft. So you can't blame him too much, but late Battle Furies, we saw that with, was it last tournament as well, when he went Battle Fury on PL or something.
Yeah.
4th item, it's like completely mind-blowing. So he
But
a
didn't
little
they
bit
won
questionable.
that last tournament?
They
that
won.
played
They
in?
won that game too, but it was still a questionable Battle Fury.
I think in terms of that comparison too with Ramses, like I tend to see them utilizing Ramses a bit better in terms of like the early game for VP, where he'll join those more important pushes and engagements, whereas Ame is often maybe on the other side of the map, still trying to finish up a relatively large item. Like I don't think he's the kind of guy that often you'll see that really early blink dagger to get involved. But maybe if they can get him a little bit more into these early game fights.
He's a farmer. When he's played
Yeah, that's
Gyro, he
true.
fights early, but the Gyros look very weak, so I don't want to see them picking that for him. I'd rather see something that is just going to suit his style more. Slack has been very good for him. That's a hero they may want to go back to.
It's really,
that's true.
It's really hard to pick that hero, though. You need to 4th pick it.
Yep.
Because the Bloodseeker we've seen too many times, and
Yeah, and then the one time he's banned, they just got voided. And I was like, all right, this
Yeah.
game's over.
that's definitely rough. We've seen Slark in the beginning of the tournament working really good, but then counters come up, and
Yeah.
the hero has big issues. If it's a free Slark game, and the hero looks so broken, but then you counter it, and then you're like, this hero is trash.
Speaking of heroes, by the way,
draft started?
Draft is indeed ready. We are even well. We are
Finally.
actually exactly on schedule.
IO not yet banned, by the way.
Hold up.
No, I got it. Don't worry.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a
Feeling
wisp coming.
the Wisp not banned.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
please. Come on, come on.
It's low bracket.
It is.
Surely they ban IO.
Surely. And
I-
surely.
I would
I
ban
mean, they were very close in beating IO.
Yeah.
it. Or they just ban it and just easily win.
Hey, got
Clap.
him.
Okay.
By the way, Virtus.pro, or rather, PSG.LGD chose first pick, and then Virtus.pro chose Radiant. That is how that went down.
Much more standard. None of this secret. I'm picking 2nd pick.
That was Optic, right?
It was secret yesterday as well.
Oh,
I don't know
as
about
well?
Optic.
Optic
Secret,
as well.
Puppy chose 2nd pick, and then the other team chooses Radiant. And it was
Optic did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
what?
Picking
But,
some standard stuff.
I mean, it didn't work out for either of them. They
No.
got eliminated.
these teams, these captains who are trying to be next level, I think, with prepping their drafts, and sometimes you just need to simplify.
And this Beastmaster, this tournament, has been one of the most stable heroes. It's always good. We see a hero like DP being picked up a lot, but I feel Beastmaster is always good. Even in the weaker teams, this hero just always keeps impressing. And you can just pick a Skywrath with it, and you have a super strong lane, super good pickoff. It's proven to be one of the best heroes this tournament.
Yeah, I like LGD's bans to start too, where they get rid of the Sand King and the Chen, because that tends to be the opener that they want with the Death Prophet. So when Virtus.pro are picking in the 2-3, they love to go Death Prophet Sand King or Death Prophet Chen, and I feel like it just kind of like helps them secure that little idea that they've got going for the mid game. And now, if you want to go for that Death Prophet, you
Little
don't have
Bane
that same
DP.
partner.
Night Stalker still there.
Night Stalker.
No Lycan though, of course, in terms of your fun opener.
And VP really favored that Death Prophet. They decided not to go for it this time.
We have been missing Leshrac for a little bit. Last couple of days, he's been missing from the draft. We obviously, the start of the tournament, Leshrac was hot commodity.
He got replaced by Skywrath pretty fast.
In that 4th position role.
Yeah.
Very aura heavy strat from LGD. We saw this a little bit at a couple of the recent tournaments where they'd have this Beastmaster Venge. X-Nova has played a lot of games on this 5 position Venge and gives them a save as well as this very strong physical damage lineup.
It is interesting, though, that it doesn't really provide any sort of like sustain, and if it's a Leshrac dual lane, you know that there's going to be a lot of harass. You have a Night Stalker there, too. The Witch Doctor, I think, was kind of one of those ones that we've always seen against the Night Stalker, so with the addition of the sustain of the heal, could have been a decent option. But curious. I don't know, often it's that single target focus that I want to have the Venge for to kind of swap, maybe, or like saving from a Chrono or something.
Normally.
Normally.
The next level play.
personal favorite. I think that one.
That's underused.
It
It's so
really
good.
is. It is so good.
Yeah.
What just happened? That's my favorite.
This Vengeful, I prefer just going to Skywrath. It just seems way better, honestly. You get that super pressure lane and the pick off with the old Beastmaster ult with Skywrath. You just kill people. And the Vengeful is good for the auras, of course, but you don't have any... The swap is not that good this game. So usually a big thing about Vengeful is that you have the swap to save.
Yeah.
Against like an Axe or something like, or against the Skywrath, but they don't have anything, so I'm not sure about
No
this.
one's still waking up there. That was a hearty yawn. Roar of the
Pretty
lion.
early.
It is very early. I mean, yeah, it is. They
It
played
is.
third series of the day yesterday, though.
That's
They
true.
did have the evening off, which for LGD, they can't say the same. They played yesterday evening until fairly late against Team Liquid.
Solo being targeted. His 3
Yeah.
main heroes this tournament
Yes.
all removed.
Yeah, he does not have a lot of versatility really lately because he doesn't have to, you know. Oftentimes as position 5, your hero just gets picked like first phase or maybe third pick or something. So teams just kind of know you're going to go for one of these.
And there's always seems to
standards.
be like clear 5s that suit a given team and player. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
VP like what Disruptor brings to the table with the catch, the aggressive plays, the Warlock, the Bane. Like each of these heroes add something different, but it's very VP.
And let's be real, Solo has been playing phenomenal this tournament. He
Yes.
has been on point with especially Bane, but also Disruptor. And it also means that LGD is expecting this Night Stalker and Lesh to be at least Roger and Pasha, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's still really open though. You can easily put no one on the left rack, or even Ramses plays it as well. So, and you can put it on Solo. So it's super open right now. It's
Yeah. I feel like a Wyvern actually would be a pretty cool hero for VP
the
so
DP,
far.
of course, they pick it pretty much
Yeah.
every game.
Yeah.
We've seen other teams try to copy it, and DP looks absolutely terrible. But VP is one of the few teams that makes this hero look very powerful.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, in terms of it being that single target focus, you know, the swap actually, that kind of stuff looks good for Virtus.pro right now. And there is, you know, always the Oracle. I know Solo kind of likes it, the combo with the DP,
Ooh.
depending on that next hero.
Yeah. Oracle, I mean, you're against Beastmaster Roar and just having a save with the DP always
Yeah.
feels very good. With VP, I feel like they're just simplifying the draft. When you have second pick, your first like 3 or 4 picks normally just have to be strong laners that are a bit flexible and don't lose their lane, because your opponents are getting most of the counter picks until you get to that 10th pick of the draft. So this is pretty standard VP. You know, playing second pick, let's just get this death profit. We can move its lane around. Even if it's going mid, it doesn't really get hard countered by anything.
Yeah.
So it's just very safe draft.
You could also just pick up a simple Rubik. It's one of the better heroes against Clock. You can never really die. You just lift him and get out of the cogs easily.
There he is.
Pick up the Rubiks. Yeah.
Yep,
It's really
very
good
nice
against
there.
Clock. It's one of the heroes that you can't solo kill. It's really annoying.
Oh, Clock SF.
Clock SF, the classic.
Yep.
Some
Okay.
reason the cogs have souls, which gives you a
Yeah.
very big advantage middle.
I heard the cheer from the crowd, getting to see the summoners or maybe
No.
a
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend.
The hero's been buffed quite a lot. You can either go the physical or magical build, and the physical build got buffed quite a lot, so you can actually have good talents with that now.
And one of the most common things for Vengeful Spirit in terms of the past like year and a half has been this Vengeful Spirit Shadow Fiend, where he's kind of allowed to be this frontliner, and then if he ever gets in trouble, he just gets swapped out. And I mean, that was when we were getting even the core Vengeful Spirits. That was kind of like that whole strategy. And a lot of that developed in Southeast Asia, where Xnova would have been playing at the time. So perhaps bringing that over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Virtus.pro not targeting FY at all throughout those first couple bans, too, kind of led into getting this Clockwork, which I assume will be for him. Judging by how it's set up here. And the way they've been using that flare and the vision and just like split pushing the side lanes, when LGD were looking at their strongest, it was with him on Clockwork or on the Naga Siren every single game. So I really like what they've gone back for now, right now.
Speaking of vision, do you feel like Virtus.pro has enough with just a Night Stalker there, which is not actually that much vision, and obviously Rubik what he steals, but is that enough?
It's enough. They've got
Yeah.
Solo. Doesn't matter
True.
what hero. They'll
Okay.
have vision.
Okay.
Yeah, his wards have been
It's-
unbelievable.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Every fight that goes so well their way, you can point at the ward that was right before and be like, there you go. That's why they
Yep.
won that fight.
It's tough now. LGD's last pick, they want that kind of fighting carry, but that's what VP did target instead of FY's heroes. Slack, Bloodseeker, Gyrocopter last ban. They were kind of pinpointing that these are the key heroes that Ame could pull out that are stronger laners, fighting carries that LGD need to kind of give him a better game.
Yeah, really the PL, I guess, the only one left in terms of that class
Yeah.
that we've been seeing a lot
I don't know
lately.
if that's too greedy too, but
Yeah.
Mirana has not been banned at all this series. Not sure how good it is. But you get the aura, so you will do so much damage with the SF and Mirana core, but a little bit riskier. VP's draft is like, it's impossible to predict that because, again, they can put any hero anywhere.
Yeah.
There's also Void 2 is kind of okay if they wanted to go that way. I feel like they are just lacking a little bit in terms of like the team fight AoE and everything, which is one way you can make up for it. They already have great Roche, decent sieging and everything, so I'm fine with either just like a fighting carry or someone who can kind of play around like the Chrono.
Yeah. Fighting carry with like some team fight aspect, because that's something which right now VP, you know, DP ult, they're just going to take objectives anytime it's up, it feels like, and LGD don't have a good answer to that. Ooh.
Yikes.
That is not a fighting hero. That is a...
Ame Arc Warden.
Make some space.
Seems pretty greedy.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that pick.
Well, at the same time, VP, they are kind of on like, in some sense, it's slowed down a little bit because you always know they have to wait for Exorcism. So maybe you can think like, okay, well, they can only push so many objectives so fast. Maybe that'll give us a little bit of time. But yeah, I'm going to have to agree. It's feeling a little greedy here.
You want like a melee carry, saying that's a gap closer against the Arc Warden, so you don't have to worry about the bubble. Like something like Life Stealer looks pretty good here.
Yeah, and they actually banned out so many of the other ones.
Terrorblade.
Huh.
Yikers.
Oi. All right.
Drafts here.
TP's not really an Arc Warden counter, though. He does not deal with the bubble well at all.
He is an early game pusher, though, in terms of like abusing the fact that they might not be able to actually contest them. They might be able to just dominate the entire map.
TP's very good against SF, and Reflection against all these auras.
Yeah.
Say hello to your own aura strat.
So, who is taking that first game? According to Twitter, it is very favored for Virtus.pro. Do we agree with Twitter? By the way, if you want to get your predictions in, it is at PGL Esports on the Twitter. Sorry, go ahead.
Man, Bullet wants me to go first.
I think it's
don't
a pretty
either
even
team's
draft.
Last pick. How do both teams get a bad last pick?
Yeah, it kind of feels that way,
looks like
doesn't
a bad
it?
last pick.
Yeah.
But I agree, it's a pretty even draft.
All right,
Okay.
well, I'll
Yeah,
go
okay.
for it then. Fine.
Yes,
I'm
go now.
comfortable going with LGD. I think the draft is very even. I don't think any team has this like ridiculously clear advantage, but I think the Clockworkers look great. I think they play well around the vision. If you can't get wards down, just flare. So there you go. Good luck centurying that.
It's pretty easy. The Reflection will absolutely destroy them. The auras that you gain from that Terrorblade will destroy this game and win.
So Virtus.pro for Bulldog.
I'm going to go VP as well. Just I feel like the even enough draft, and VP just looks like a better team who's executing better right now.
2 for 1, still a very even draft going into this first game of the first series of the day. Let's head over to OD Pixel and Fogged and hear what they have to say about this match.
Thank you, Shiva. Yes, PSG.LGD versus Virtus.pro. What a way to start the final day of the Dota2 Supermajor here in Shanghai. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Fogged. And what a couple of picks to end both of the teams' drafts with the Terrorblade and the Arc Warden coming through. You expected a lot of the other bits of the draft, but I don't think anyone could have called these two finishes.
No, definitely not. I mean, in particular, not the Arc Warden. I saw the first 2 picks. I was like, Bench Beastmaster. It was screaming the Somnus SF. I was pretty surprised they didn't ban it, but I think VP, they had to have expected this coming. This is a very similar draft that LGD likes to run when maybe he does play this SF. But yeah, the Ame Arc Warden, he hasn't played it, at least in competitive, in about 2 months. They played it against TNC in, I think it was DAC. And they did not win that game. Can be a bit greedy of a hero, but I think they're really relying on maybe as well as Chalice, who is now playing. I'm really thankful that they actually did this. I was really hoping that PSG.LGD would go back to putting Chalice on either Beastmaster or Brewmaster for these series.
Well, we saw him on a Bloodseeker and a Panga yesterday. It wasn't great.
His Bloodseeker overall, like in the tournament, has been pretty good, but I feel like these heroes are the ones that he really shines on, the team fight control.
On top, we will see fights around the bounty runes here. As the lanes will come into shape.
Look at this right away. Solo. This is what you want to do. Versus SF, you want to try to kill the Curry. You want to try to get some type of advantage for your Death Prophet coming into this because there's those souls coming out. He killed all those Clockwork Cogs. 12 souls starting off. Look at that base damage. No one's going to have a struggle if he doesn't get some help. So Solo wants a snipe career.
And he's, you know, someone who's certainly been pounding out the SF games in his pubs. He is level 9 on his Dota plus SF. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. No one actually gets that uphill deny. And here comes the courier. You see it behind the tower. The ward is already placed. Solo.
Oh, he's giving up.
Oh, you know, he's coming. Oh, he's going to get it on the way back, huh?
He should certainly have the chance. We'll see if LGD make any sort of movements with the courier, but it's
looks
going
pretty
straight
dead.
down there.
Oh,
they know.
He knows.
They are. They know. They're ready for it.
They were prepared.
They
and
were
there comes
prepared.
the spam. Good on them to be prepared. So, Other things that we can look forward to, of course, is we haven't seen Terrorblade too often, but I'm glad God's pointed out at the end there is all these auras. He can, whenever he uses Reflection, he's going to get Venge aura, Shadow Fiend aura, Beastmaster aura. It can really enable Ramses to be quite a beast. But speaking of Ramses, getting chased down a bit bottom by Xnova and Chalice.
It does have the backup of Solo. Gets another illusion out for the turn. The telekinesis, Chalice gets another axe out of the way. Viterra bringing Ramses down incredibly low.
He's got
Chalice
6 axe
and it's
stacks.
over there. They're closing the gap, and that'll be first blood. Chalice, as you said, you're happy to see him back on the Beastmaster, and he does it. They're getting first blood onto Ramses.
They actually got 6 axe stacks on him there. So the damage coming in was really starting to add up, and Xnova went for the Wave of Terror level 1, and it ends up paying off rather than having stun. Now they are level 2. And Roger, of course, doing these nice taunts to slash the final one.
See down bottom. Again, the aggression, Chalice and Xnova. They find a second between the two of them. This dual lane working out very nicely against the safe lane of VP. Up top, bit of an attempt here by Roger, but he gets trapped in by the cogs. Battery Assault bringing him down pretty low. They'll get the right clicks in. Another Wraith's going to be laid down, but Roger will get himself out of range before it's cast off.
Mid.
Tries with the mango, but indeed, it's just a little bit too short to catch no one.
No one is doing incredibly well in this lane already. Having that base damage disadvantage, 9 and 3 in comparison to the 7 and 7 on Somnus. You know, 19 denies. It says 19 denies, but lots of them were cogs, of course, at the start.
And again, it's this bottom where Chalice is just able to play very aggressively onto Terrorblade. These early levels, the TB is going to get punished by a Beastmaster.
Especially whenever Random Metamorphosis is down. This lane is quite weak coming out from VP. The Rubik as well as TB.
Again, it really does feel one magic missile, and suddenly there's the chance for the damage to come in onto Ramses. He has to be careful.
Chalice is now out of mana, though, so they're going to have a little bit more freedom in this one. Expended all the mangoes to keep that pressure on early on. And now there is mana available, so it's going to help Ramses quite a lot down bottom to at least soak up that pressure. So the top lane, though, VP, they're doing very well to pressure the Arc Warden. Mid, no one is doing incredibly well, too. So right now, sure, LGD's got 2 kills, but the other 2 lanes, this mid and top, looking successful at the moment for VP.
Especially, as you say, considering the matchups, you know, in that middle lane.
Yeah.
You really don't expect to see DP have such of a good time against an SF that was boosted by the clock cogs.
Yeah, Somnus still has a level advantage because of all those denies that he's got, but no one has a little bit more. Roger.
It's going to get trapped in again by FY. It's a chance to put the Spark Wraith down. As that will connect onto Roger. Won't quite be enough damage, but that second one would be. But Roger's got the juice. Sees the Wraith, heads to the side. Will not be caught out by it. Mid lane, Somnus able to force no one back, but no one's got the south. Heads into the tree line, gets himself back up to full.
No one was feeling quite pressured, even scans on the right side there. It is nighttime now, though, so this is where Pasha, this top lane, can look to actually put the pressure onto Ame here.
And straight away, looking to go forward. They've got the stun, but at the same time, FY heads forward and pushes Roger and Pasha away from Ame.
Why?
They get the trap onto Roger, and FY's going to get the kill off the back of that. Catches him in the cogs with the battery assault, as VP did make that attempt onto Ame's life, whilst Roger was already only sitting at about a third of his health.
This is like the Ame special hero, the Naga Siren and the Clockwork. Trent was talking about in the panel. These are the 2 heroes that he's been incredibly successful on.
The Ame special.
Oh, sorry, the FY special.
I'd like to see Ame caught work. That sounds good. Bottom lane.
Solo.
Again. These 2. They should be able to get away with it. Stick charges. Will it be enough to save him? It will not. Chalice chases him down with the boots and finds another. This is good news for sure for that bottom lane.
Chalice also bought a bottle. They're going to be able to claim the second bounty rune bottom, so even more mana going to be able to keep the pressure on. Xnova claim that one. Full bottle up.
And up top, Roger. Tries again with the setup. It's time to have a bit of a better shot at it, but he goes straight for the TP out after the 2 mini stuns and such have been used. Smart heads up escape from Ame. Does mean he is going to be back to base and will have to take the walk to the lane, but keeps him safe. FY finding Solo. Solo with the telekinesis, trying to drag FY out of the cogs, but those cogs at least have given time for Somnus to come in range, have the razors to finish it off. No one looking to chase down Somnus with the siphon, but FY is in perfect position to block him off with the battery assault.
Somnus waiting for the rune, gets it again. DD now top. Almost level 7 on this Shadow Fiend. No one is level 5, almost level 6 though. So you can see those denies really starting to add up in that mid lane. And here comes the rotation.
Xnova and FY, all they need is a magic missile to allow FY to walk in and catch him in the cogs, and it should be a surefire kill. But no one is keeping in the correct position. Opposite side of the lane, Rocket Flare will reveal the position, in fact, of PSG.LGD with FY firing that one out, so no one knows to play careful. Bottom lane, again, Chalice looking to go in onto Ramses. Ramses does have to slow out in return. He's trying to just right-click against this, and Ramses is going to win that war with the backup of Solo and Pasha there if needed. As Chalice not quite enough damage to bring down Ramses with it.
Look at Xnova. If he's going to be...
Oh, can he get the snipe?
This?
He might be able to. Oh, he's done. He walks in and gets a freebie. Xnova.
Oh my God. And mid.
They'll get themselves something else as FY and Somnus chase down no one, and wow, 2 big core kills there for PSG.LGD up and down the map. As, yeah, bottom lane didn't expect the Xnova Vengeful Spirit to turn up and finish him off.
Not having any vision at the moment for VP. They don't have that ward bottom to be able to watch the pressure coming out. So, yeah, just sneaks in. PSG.LGD already 7-1.
Yeah, this is looking to be back to sort of the PSG.LGD we expected to sort of see towards the end of yesterday, and we really didn't in the laning stage and more really against Liquid. But this time round, they've turned up. As you say, a lot of these lanes, the Chalice Beastmaster sort of feeling like back on sort of form that you expect from this lineup in terms of their comfort heroes. Top lane, FY. Getting silence, Roger. Looking for the stun. FY's got the cogs to block Roger back off. Roger will try for the stun over it. Won't quite reach the range with the stun, but it doesn't matter. Pasha is able to chase down with the right clicks and finish off FY. Again, look at this man, Somnus. He's just got to look at the runes again.
Another
He knows where they're going to spawn every time he's in the right place. Bottom lane.
Does have Sunder.
One will get himself back to full, and with that one, he'll turn around and claim the kill onto Xnova by the looks of it. Xnova's trying to run, trying to hide, but Ramses will chase him down.
They're prioritizing giving Ramses the kill there too, because they know he's already got 2 deaths. You need this Terrorblade to have free farm. Those 2 supports don't take the kill. Pressure on the mid tower from Somnus with this Arcane Rune. Spam the wave quickly.
Looking to build straight to that Shadow Blade this game as well, so we can sort of make the most of this point of the game where he's going to have that strength against the TV with Magical Burst. And bottom lane, Ramses getting another kill. The sort of movements from VP having the 2 supports down there to set up for this action is giving Ramses this really nice jump up in goal.
I like Roger's move, just being like, yeah, let's make sure that our Terrorblade gets farmed mid. No one.
He's got the Cypher, but that will not be enough heals to outdo the damage of Somnus's raises.
LGD playing at a very fast early pace.
Big difference network between Somnus and No1 now in that mid lane.
Yep.
Over 1,500 between the two of them.
Yeah, getting close to 2,000 above. Almost level 10 on Shadow Fiend too. Level 7 Death Prophet. Look at this. Look at how much they're prioritizing the mid lane too. There is 3 wards placed there to make sure that this Shadow Fiend has the best time possible.
I mean, so far so good for Somnus. He certainly is having a good time.
Yep.
He's getting the towers we see there before the 10-minute mark. And as I say that, this is the sort of worry for VP. If PSG.LGD Somnus gets this Shadow Blade online in good time, which at this pace he will, the map becomes so scary for Ramses. A Shadow Blade in a couple of raises, and that's a Terrorblade dead at this stage of the game.
And then he can become this hunter, right? Yeah. They have an Arc Warden, so they want someone else to be putting the pressure on while this Arc Warden gets the Midas, gets like Shadow Blade, Maelstrom, some of these kind of items that we tend to see on the hero, even though we don't see Arc Warden too often.
This time, no one will be the one to claim the route, as Somnus interests elsewhere as he's into the jungle with the help of Xnova, quickly cleaning up some camps.
Got about a minute and a half until nighttime. They do have darkness in about 60 though, so we might see Pasha even use it, the darkness, as soon as it's up in them to look for a play. It's either hunt the Arc Warden or hunt that Shadow Fiend, because right now it's VP on the back foot.
3k gold lead, and that's only going to continue with Arme's Midas now complete.
This early tower they get mid. They're
Look at this as well.
No one.
FY's got the hook shot. It's an easy setup for Somnus to walk in with the raises. The catch and the kill complete for PSG.LGD. This Shadow Fiend is already a huge issue for the lineup of VP. There's no doubt about that. As his Shadow Blade, Somnus, just about a couple of 100 gold away, as he will have it around this 11-12 minute mark.
I mean, this bottom and mid lane, Chalice now has taken over the lane. Terrorblade's farm has been completely hindered too. Taking another tier 1 this early on.
Very, very strong start for PSG.LGD. Shadow Blade, 11 minutes and a half in.
Level 11 as well, about to be level 12 pretty much, to have that level 2 Requiem. He can kill anybody on the map with that.
Yeah, and the panel sort of talked about how we've seen how good Solo's warding and vision is. It's got to be top form this game, because otherwise they are going to be able to make these rotations and get on top of them. They go for the smoke.
He has gotten like no wards down on the map, and even if he has, I think 1 or 2 have been countered.
Because look at the warding of PSG.LGD. They've got 4 wards all over the side of VP's half of the map.
They're playing it incredibly well right now.
Trying to chase down FY, but FY simply lays down the cogs, and that sort of whole smoke play, it's not going to catch anyone out. As PSG.LGD, they're away. In fact, they want to fight. Somnus with the Shadow Blade and also with a double damage rune picked up, he's ready to go. VP, they're looking for the kill onto FY, but FY is sort of baiting them in. If Somnus can find a big kill on the back, it's going to be certainly worth it. There's the swap from Xnova onto Pasha. It's bam. They'll take 1. Can they get more out of this? They have got the favorable numbers here, PSG.LGD. Rogers trying to come in with a lightning spam from the side, goes for the stun. Indeed, no one. He actually comes out with the ghost there, and they just lose everything. Triple kill for Somnus. VP falling apart here down on the bottom lane as Solo. He will be able to get himself out with the stolen cogs.
But he's got no TP.
And they're chasing. Somnus is ready for another kill into the bank of his SF. Solo will hold it off temporarily, and FY says, all right, boys, stop messing around. I'm finishing it off with a rocket flare. But Somnus getting a triple kill. This is getting out of hand. This is an SF 7K net worth. He's only getting bigger. As soon as he picks up the Shadow Blade, he's got 1K gold as he can start working towards the BKB. He's level 12. They're just doing everything right. I don't know what happened in terms of team talks last night, but this is a totally different PSG.LGD compared to what we saw against Liquid.
Absolutely. And no one, that's the first Exorcism usage. He was trying to hide in the tree lines. He knew he was going to get spotted out. He tries to take a fight, but now 90 seconds, no Exorcism. Uh-oh, VP.
Pasha
got the dust.
He's going to chase Somnus, but immediately goes for the TP out. Oh, but Roger. They're just in time with the Leshrac.
They strike back.
That is a large chunk of gold as well for Pasha.
Oh, interesting. So Pasha did have the hood queued up, and now he's just gone for a straight medallion. I think this might be a, oh my god, we need to do Roche with the medallion Exorcism play that they're looking at. Because right now, sure they get the kill on the SF, but they are getting pressured everywhere. And they're stuck on their side of the map now because they've lost all these early tier 1s.
And they've lost Solo as well. FY and Chalice finding Solo out a little too far in that top lane as he's trying to pick up those levels on the Rubik. There's level 7 at the moment. Still indeed holding on to this lead. Roger does have the Invis rune. He's got vision to Chalice and such. Pasha's also there towards the south of the river.
He wants to try something for Ame here. We see Roger rotating in as well, but he's scouting out FY.
He's fairly low near Ame. They may have the chance to burst him. He's got the setup with the silence into the stun. TP's coming through straight away, but the damage output of Roger's enough. Perfect play off the back of the Invis room. PSG.LGD look for the counterplay. They've got the hook shot in onto Roger. Roger will not escape, but they'll take that VP. Taking Ame off the map, anything they can do to sort of slow down his farm and make sure the space is there for Ramses to continue to hit the creeps is a good play.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how Pasha does this adaptation in the game, right? He had the hood queued up, but he's like, I can't actually play this passive defensive style. I need to be the one running around making kills happen to catch my Death Prophet and my Terrorblade back up in the game. So this medallion allows them to get these kills and allows them to maybe go for that Roche when they've got level 2 Exorcism.
We saw that, yes. Able to get himself away before I believe the cogs were available from FY. And either way, I guess he had the hunt in the night.
Hunter.
Very hard to trap, really, but on his own.
Already a book 1 now for Chalice at the base. So this is the incredibly scary thing, too, is you look at LGD's lineup, they can kill Roche incredibly fast. All that physical damage, amplification coming out, and this humongous Shadow Fiend that they have right now. No one still struggling to catch back up in this game. Not quite having the Yules. 0, 4, and 0.
Somnus.
Roger gets spotted bottom by the Clockwork Rocket.
Well, there's the lead in. FY straight up with a hook shot. Another kill for FY to get his involvement in.
Look at this, and they're making another play right away. Chalice as well as Xnova, no hesitation. They're looking for a smoke gank.
And they found him. No one gets found out. An easy pick between the two of them. Chalice and Nova. Absolutely destroy no one there between the two.
So much physical damage. Medallion plus a level 4 Wave of Terror.
VP, they really do need something big this game to swing this one around. It really isn't not too often you see VP in a position like this.
Yeah, I mean, the Shadow Fiend almost has double the net worth as this Death Prophet. And Ame just has been farming away. Still top 3 net worths. Getting caught up there by Ramses. But he's getting all the space in the world from his team making these double rotations. They gank bottom with the smoke and they gank mid. Chalice already level 13 as well in this game. So level 14 SF, level 13 Beastmaster.
Top.
Chalice.
TPs will be coming in as Pasha will have to back off from that attempt.
VP's just, they're in full recovery mode. Especially when it's daytime. Way too hard for them to take fights. I mean, Exorcism is their main source of damage in this, but they can't really use the Exorcism too well because how squishy no one is. Sure, got Yule Scepter, but the amount of armor that he has only 7 versus all of this physical that LGD has, all of this armor mitigation that they've got. And they almost even have a Spirit Vessel on FY too, so being able to counteract a lot of that, the Spirit Siphons, if the Yules isn't there to dispel it.
Find the positioning to take down that top tier 1 tower. PSG.LGD were positioned behind it as well with the smoke just in case they found a catch. And FY, with his movement around the map, he will find Roger, and Roger cannot escape himself in the cogs of FY.
6
Pasha.
and 2.
Yeah, he can do either on his own, and in fact down bottom, Ame talking about finding people on their own. He's found no one. Doing a lot of damage here with his secondary unit. In fact, Ame's still there to come back in, and no one. He's trying to run. He's got the Yules. He's sort of looking to bait Ame into Ramses, and Pasha can come through to get the kill in return, and it's going to work. No one pulling in Ame, tempting him for the kill. Pasha is there as well with Ramses to turn things around. Still though, PSG.LGD looking to fight. Now they'll bring in the favorable numbers as FY goes forward, pops the cogs down, but the Siphon finishes him off. VP are able to find a second one out of this one, but still the rest of PSG.LGD collapsing. Look towards no one. The Roar comes out, but it's costing them a lot here. PSG.LGD actually losing 3 heroes for this attempt. They do get Ramses. Somnus pops the BKB. Xnova with the swap, actually cancelling the Requiem, but now it will come back out. Somnus gets the Requiem out, punches down Roger as Xnova will live. So PSG.LGD, they do get the kills, but I mean, considering they are ahead and VP are behind, VP actually found a decent trade out there. They were able to take some of the cores down in return.
Yep. And that was during daytime too. So VP able to kind of punch back. Ame getting a little over aggressive there. Not expecting all the VP to show up. But look at this. They're looking to go again. Never slowing down. Pasha.
He came out, as you say. I don't think he expected them to come back down here as quickly as they did. Will jump himself out of the cogs, and that should be enough to save him. Solo's there as well, just in case the chase down comes through. So Pasha gets away with being out there, as you say, during the night time. Very hard for them to keep full control of the Night Stalker, and he's doing well on the money front. Pasha's got the money for the full-out solo crest if he wishes.
Yep. Having that quick animation for the darkness. And he goes in and he takes the bounty, but
it does get swapped back. He may pay with his life, but his team, they'll certainly say that was worth it. He got the bounty ring.
They're pinging all the bounties right now, all of VP. They know how behind they are in this game. They need to try to catch up somehow.
And we'll see this again down bottom. I mean, you see at the start, Ame's like, okay, I'm backing off. No one's playing aggressive, something's going on here, but then he sees he's so low. Yeah. He's like, surely I can get this, but with the Yules, the Siphon, Ramses, and Pasha coming in, Ame does not get away with that easy kill that it looked to be.
This silence coming in soon from no one was incredibly clutch, allowing Ramses to not just get roared and killed here in this situation. You see the roar is trying to come out, silence catches him, he gets the Sunder off.
Absolutely, right during the cast animation.
Yeah.
And as you say, just that little play, prolonging that engagement to the point where VP were able to bring down core kills with them.
Yeah. I love how fast-paced LGD is playing. I mean, they look at the lineup and they're like, VP, in order to take fights, which it's already pretty hard for them, they need Metamorphosis and DP ulti, and these are two very long cooldown spells. While on the side of LGD, they don't really need to wait for too much. It's like a roar in some situations, but even then, they've just been kind of setting up with just the clockwork as well as the Venge in some situations. So a very fast-paced draft, punishing a bit of that cooldown-reliant VP now.
And talking about fast pace, do you like this this build from Somnus? So he goes for the Shadowblade BKB and then, well, okay, he's changed. He did have the Hex queued up. He's now changed it to go back for the Lincoln Sphere. So I guess sort of assessing the situation. Maybe if he felt that they were far enough ahead, he could get away with just rushing the Hex, but that's not going to be the case by the looks of it anymore.
Yeah, he's a bit scared of getting sundered.
Yeah,
probably in this. He's already so far at level 18 in the SF2, so this build looking good. VP.
Do at the high ground.
They've got the nighttime. They see a courier. They don't want the courier. They want something bigger. They want to get a fight into a Roche with the Exorcism, with this Solar Crest finished up on Pasha.
PSG.LGD look to be just as ready for this, though. They are around the pit as well. Chalice. They catch vision of one another. Pasha to the high ground.
That tanky Hawk surviving even the Void from the Night Stalker.
So they'll just start to show themselves mid and push in, but Pasha needs to maybe start a bit of a fight. They'll get the silence from no one onto two. Pasha taking a lot of damage in return, though, from Arme.
It's early Mjolnir already picked up.
Yeah,
sure, he's a bit squishy, but the damage he can deal if he's in the back lines. Somnus pressuring down that bottom tower, and they saw all of VP. This was a meta used as well. Ramses really wanted to try to take that fight.
Hitting towers, PSG.LGD. Another tier 2. From that bottom lane, Somnus level 18 nearing onto level 19. 13,000 net worth.
Getting close to that. +2 damage per soul. Chooses to go for it, which I'm assuming he will with all this physical damage amp. Book 3 gets popped. This looks like it's a Roche for LGD.
Yeah, they know they're in the stronger position.
It's going to die so fast.
Not a chance at all for VP to head over in time. Very quick, very easy Roshan for PSG.LGD as Somnus. Now 4K gold, and he has switched it, but
back to the Hex.
I think he's realized, like, all right, we got Roshan, we're back sort of ahead. Because I imagine you sort of go for this Hex build when you do feel you're at sort of a significant advantage, and you want to just shut things down. Because a good Hex play in a fight, that could end the game.
Yeah, a lot of activatable items.
Yeah.
So we probably will see him take that, 40% cooldown reduction if he makes it to 25.
We'll see, as he is yet to invest in it. As it may be the case, if we see them have one bad fight PSG.LGD, he may very well switch back for the Lincolns. Just depends on how sort of Somnus' overlook of the game for himself thinks.
Early Hex in this game, I mean, versus DP as well as a Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Going to be incredibly scary for VP. Solo trying to get some farm, push out the waves, but will pay with his life. VP just still completely on the back foot, and LGD, they're not slowing down.
And a swap into no one. No one does have Roger by him. Magic missiles there. Chalice has got the roar, and they surround no one with the army. There's no way to keep no one alive. As PSG.LGD with too much sort of focused damage with that Necrobook army that Chalice has.
I mean, the Beastmaster is, when he's near the Venge, is hitting for over 200, not even including all that minus armor.
And that Wave of Terror from X-Nova continuing to get buffed now. Level 15, he's got the cooldown, and of course that extra bit of minus armor. So all sort of wrapped up with the rest of the roster that PSG.LGD have in this game, as you say. It's a lot of punch. It's 25 minutes in. It's still pretty early days. 24-11, 15,000 net worth lead still for PSG.LGD as VP. They've got to find some way to sort of slow this down. The Hex is now in play for Somnus.
It's even a 20,000 experience lead too.
Yeah.
So they are quite ahead.
Will manage to invade the half of the jungle and find Arme. That's a big catch for VP, but of course elsewhere, PSG.LGD, they are finding trades, taking tier 2 towers. And Somnus, of course, he is now level 20.
Yep, has that damage talent.
And with the Aegis still on him, they, even with one person down, they could contemplate pushing high ground.
X-Nova actually went for an Aether Lens this game. So that long distance swap, long distance stun, pretty much every one of his abilities. so he can stay inside that back line.
FY. Unlucky with the hook shot this time. He has been hitting some fantastic ones this game. And that one just slightly off the mark. Looks like they may still get Roger though. As X-Nova, he's got that magic missile with that extra cast range.
Yeah, he did.
And it's Roger gone. Easy pickings for PSG.LGD, and they'll look towards Pasha as well. Pasha, let's get the Crippling Fear out.
Silence saves him for now. Yules as well to control the Beastmaster. Roger's just, they're trying to push out these lanes. You can feel it's VP in like desperation mode.
It's got to be. They've got to start looking for drastic measures really to keep themselves in this game one. As PSG.LGD very much looking to be on the verge at that point where they can break the base and get this advantage that's going to become almost impossible for VP to recover from.
And like the big change for me is yesterday, this is what Liquid did to them. They didn't let them actually take any towers, and now LGD did that to VP. They've only lost 1 tower in this game, and it's been pretty much them just dictating the pace the entire time in VP. Yeah. Trying to react, but...
I mean, maybe looking back on it yesterday, they are. They're trying to go for this. It's straight away on the side. No one's. He's going to use himself up. Thomas just pops his BKB though. Looks for the burst onto Pasha and Ramses. There's the Roar holding Ramses in place. Ramses have gone buyback straight away, but they have lost 3 on the backlines. PSG.LGD, they're suffering in this fight. Arme with the Tempest double and the bright clicks there from Somnus will manage to finish off another. They're having to expend mass buybacks here, VP, but it's not too bad of a hold at all.
Wow.
In fact, it's a fantastic one there. Cleaning up Chalice. They have to buy back, but they can take these team fights and push sort of the team back. Obviously, the top racks are gone, but they show a sign of hope despite being as far behind as they are, VP.
That was if we don't get a couple kills here, we might just GG out.
Yeah.
You saw no one buys the Blink Dagger. He had the BKB
straight in.
He buys the Blink and just jumps right in. Ramses walks in. He's kind of the sacrifice at that point for no one to do all that damage, and no one did. He had the pretty much full duration exorcism in the fight, cleaning up 4 heroes, getting right on top of them there. So they do punch back a bit here.
Absolutely, always impressive to see a team be able to do that when they're at such a gold deficit and experience deficit, as you say.
2 buybacks. The net worth changes 2K about, in the experience a little bit more than that.
Yeah, of course, they're going to need a hell of a lot more than that to swing the game around, but it is something.
They probably need that like 2 or 3 more
We'll see it again,
times.
as you say, the way that no one just, he's in there. He knows that this is the time to fight.
So he gets the 2-man silence as well in the back lines and survives for a bit here. With that Yule Scepter, the attention is focused onto Ramses there. Gets the Sunder off onto Somnus, but look at no one in the back. Even though he's Spirit Vesseled, the damage coming out is ridiculous.
I mean, from him, not only from him, but Roger as well. Just the 2 of them being able to stand there on the front line. Sure, Roger dies, but he got out so much damage before he goes down.
Yeah. Ramses.
They've trapped him. With the Hex down onto him as well. With a burst from Somnus, they'll take him. No save. And just like that, I mean, that is Ramses gone for 80 seconds. Roger as well without buybacks. That may be PSG.LGD stepping back in and saying, all right, it was cute, that little fight you had up top, but this game is ours.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely caught LGD a bit off guard there, but now they're all grouped together. And they're looking to close this one out.
There's a swap as well onto Pasha. He's out into the hands of PSG.LGD. As there, no
one jumps in.
He does. He tries to do what he did last time, and in fact, with the Siphon and the Yules, he's doing a fair bit, but he's still without 2 other of his teammates. He will go down as well. GG is called, and PSG.LGD will claim Game 1 of the lower bracket finals against VP.
16 kills on Somnus. 16, 1, and 4. They enabled the Shadow Fiend to just take over the game.
They really did. And with the crowd, they knew it as well. As soon as that Shadow Fiend pick was out, the hometown crowd are incredibly excited to see Somnus upon it, and this is why. Just the team, as you say, is so good at playing around it, and it really does feel like PSG.LGD is just returning to form. Maybe yesterday against Liquid they were trying something a little different. It wasn't sort of, you know, maybe the most sort of try-hardiness of drafting and Dota from LGD, but this is. They're back on. They're in the lower bracket. They're not messing around. They're not dropping any more games. They're back to what they're used to.
I just like that they went back to FY playing this Clockwork, or, I mean, this Naga was banned, of course, but FY playing the Clockwork, Chalice playing this Beastmaster, and having Somnus on this hero that can just completely take over the game, and he did.
He really did that. Game 1. 35-17, 23k net worth lead as it ends. PSG.LGD Looking pretty hot today, as we'll be back for game 2, but for now, we'll pass you back to the panel for some post-game analysis.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sodi and Fogged. And it looks like LGD does not need IO to beat Virtus.pro. I think we got that covered after this first game looked so dominant for PSG.LGD. Here to talk about the game, we got Gauze, we got Trent, we got Bulldog. Bulldog, you believed in Virtus.pro.
Sometimes I'm wrong. It's not often, but it happens. In this game, I kind of underestimated the laning phase a little bit. The clock, SF just completely destroying because of the souls. Even though no one did really well in the mid lane, up until a point where it just gets out of control. And yeah, Terrorblade's nerfs, you feel them here. His laning phase is nerfed, and the laning phase just goes out of control, and yeah, this is what happens.
It wasn't just TB, it was a TB with Rubik. That's like a pretty awful dual lane. I think VP's a team that people like talk about their style and how they win games. It's often dominating the laning stage, winning 2 or 3 out of the 3 lanes, and this game they lost 2 of them pretty damn hard.
Yeah, we've gotten to this point where we talk about these dual off lanes, and it feels like maybe you you die a couple times or something, but you just come back full health, full mana. And when TB doesn't have meta, and these guys are back in the lane, he is just not feeling that strong. Yeah, that moment right there, Solo almost getting 2-shot, and FY, he had a couple very nice cross-map snipes that game.
And that phase from no one was just, that felt like Virtus.pro's phase of the game, really. It's like, what are you going to do? At this point, after the laning stage got so out of control, what's the plan to go forward?
That was their best chance, honestly. Ame taking that attempt on the Death Prophet, obviously not working out too well, but everyone was able to back him up. And I mean, they had to play for objectives, try and maybe sneak a Roche or something, but it felt like they couldn't really find any sort of movement because just the Arc Warden controlling the map. And then, again, Flare. Like, FY, he's very good at just kind of scouting out these movements and ensuring that you're not going to get that Roche pit.
He played really well this game, but coming up, the VP can't pick like Terrorblade, Rubik, as God said. You need better lanes, and LGD is one of the teams that is a Chinese team that is very aggressive as well, so you can't pick these kind of heroes if you expect to win.
They're going to punish you. They're going to punish you real hard. That being said, though, sure, the draft wasn't really in Virtus.pro's favor, perhaps, but LGD played really well.
Yep.
They sure did. Maybe Shadow Fiend just went off. He just got this good early start thanks to Clockwork. He never looked back. Ame, I think, was a bit shaky in the Arc Warden. Definitely a few misplays, got caught a few times, but overall, mostly it did what his job was, as far as just keeping all these lanes pushed out. I'm still not sold on the Arc Warden pick, but ultimately it didn't matter because those other 2 lanes were so dominant. It feels like the Arc Warden could have been almost any hero.
Yeah, I like the way that they enabled maybe an Ame, just in terms of during a lot of those engagements, like maybe near the tree line or something, you've got Wave of Terror, you've got Hawk, you've got Flare. It felt like they could just kind of never dive into the trees themselves, and they just get this free vision and just lob in these bombs and slay people as they're trying to flee. So very well set up there from the supporting cast.
Definitely. It was a lot of fun hearing the crowd cheer for Maybe as well. He has a lot of fans on here. And I mean, 16-1-4. They had a lot to cheer for this game, too.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. I mean, we've seen some Shadow Fiends. We haven't seen a performance like that.
No.
Yeah, it's really good this game as well, because we've talked about No One being one of the best laners, and if you have a good game against him, you kind of win a lot of times, and giving the SF away with the clock, that's like the best kind of thing you can get. So yeah, we saw him here, he's playing really well. He never give away his kind of lead, so really clean game by him.
It's simple and straightforward too. I think they tried to be like too next level in their previous years against Liquid with some of like their first pick Bloodseekers. This time around, talk about VP simplifying things with their first 3 picks before their 2 questionable picks. Clock SF, it doesn't get any more straightforward than this. It's like every team can do this. It always wins you some lanes. The hero duo just has a great win rate. Like, pick them together.
It just works. And I think we all would agree that Maybe then gets the MVP of this first game of the series. So Somnus, congratulations. I mean, it's just one game. You know, they got another to go if they want to have the 2-0 sweep, but definitely his Shadow Fiend performance, really solid.
I mean, just look at that block of kills from like 8 to 14 minutes. Some of the most important times of the entire game where you're trying to solidify that early lead of the laning phase, and he just crushed it. You know, made perfect rotations, 3 kills on no one.
Those are old talents again, so that's a little bit dance scheme production. Can we get that fixed right now? It's unacceptable.
It's all good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you got the +2 damage per soul, I guess, at level 20.
Yeah. I like the itemization too, right? Shadowblade got himself that scythe too with the BKB. Very solid. That one team fight where it almost looked like VP could try something. Ramses tries to run in to use the reflection that you point out would be so good this game, and he just got instantly scythed. He didn't even get it off that engagement to just like try and go for the Sunder and escape.
It would be good if they didn't get so smashed in the early game.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah,
so.
once those lane got out of control, then it was kind of over for Virtus.pro. We'll see what they can do in the second game. Before we go to that second game, though, this morning, you know, we wake up early, we come here early, sit in the green room, you know, have some coffee, get our faces done and all that. And there's 2 streams up. And one of them is Chinese, one's English. Then we're watching some of the Chinese production, and we see a video. It's like, wait a second. What is this? And I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is basically what happens when you let the Chinese version of Sir Action Slacks create content with the Chinese teams. It's PSG.LGD and VGJ Thunder having a fun time, mostly, sort of.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到 Supermajor 的趣味环节。本次我们要进行的游戏叫做糊你一脸。
双方通过答题来赢得转动机关的机会，机关将会随着转动的次数随机触发，弹射出奶油糊你一脸。
好，欢迎回来。在我身边是来自老干爹的 Maybe 和他们的经理王中王。那我们话不多说，好吧？你们2个人见证自己这个队友情谊的时候到了。奶油的话是给对方加的，先给经理，好吧？
哦，你这么狠！来，你这么狠，哥哥。
哎，
够了，你妈！哎，
话不多说，直接开始好吧？2位请上头。
塞进去，干嘛呢？
可以。以下哪个英雄离地距离最高？
我感觉凤凰。
感觉凤凰最高，为什么？
有什么啊？
夜魔呀！那这题的话是杨晨答对了，伸出你的右手。
你完了，
盖哥的心情怎么样？不计饰品的情况下，以下哪个英雄的牙齿啊是默认不暴露在嘴巴外面的？熊战士、猎魂人、炼金、人马。猎魂人
白牛啊！你怎么糊弄啊，哥哥？我跟你说白牛。
人马，确认吗？平时打得多吗？
不多。
3号位打的也不怎么多。人马，但是反正肯定就是人马。
对的，肯定。
请。
啊，哎，是对的呀，快！
没对呢，请。
哦，
没比来。正确答案是熊战士啊！
哎，你这什么意思啊？我根本没按你头。别动，
盖哥很温柔，就一圈。
给我错了，
哎，一圈。
他妈他这个都转起来了，兄弟，就犯规了吧？
可以，我们假装没看见啊。
哇，他都告诉你了都不信。哦，可以兄弟，转一圈，就转一圈，别耍了。哎，这正好是一圈对吧？
哎，怎么有这样的？
这就我赢了是吧？
这赢了。以下哪个英雄的夜间视野最高？
冰龙。不是萨达。哎，不对，冰龙是白
算不算天罚？
火枪。
确定不相信 maybe。好，火枪是正确答案。
哇！我看过改动了火枪1400。
下列有胡子的英雄中，只有他的胡子可以被扎成2股。
什么啊
？2股。哦，左边1股，右边1股。猎魂人。为什么这么确定？
蒙的呀，看过视频
对吧？恭喜你答对了。
哎呦，碾压，直接亲手指定他妈5万多呢，他都不听我的，他就是很牛逼的店，是啊，赢了的，
记忆力满分，
太狠了呀！是啊，什么情况？他已经撞6个了，快！
把我摆了，
我不想玩了，
讨厌这，没事。
舒服了，兄弟啊！
查理斯其实刚才在下面答对的题目还是挺多的，但是你的队友都不相信你，你觉得这是为什么？
没有都是蒙的。
都是蒙的哈啊，难怪不相信。那 X Nova 这类的有没有信心？
没信心，
没信心。
1、2、3，出3秒。他这是9下占满的。中别按住了，没动，他按住了，那个手指按住了，没有，他这个
这是犯规，他是犯规了。
没有，我看着那个手指按住了，没有，
队员
下一题，
队员是不是要来制裁一下？
继续，他那个继续了。
恭喜杨神，杨神先别走好吧，杨神来采访一下，为什么这个游戏这么厉害？
这混子啥都不看，
不赖，是不是特别简单？
就是玩爆，
完爆是吧？你觉得 F1 哪方面可能还要提高一点？
就对游戏的理解不够深吧。